Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Travis. How are you? How are you, Travis? All right. Welcome, Kelvin. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome in. Maven. All right, Maven. Here you go, Maven. Thank you. Here you are, Maven. All right. Let's go, everyone. Then we've got is Carson. Here you go, Carson. Thank you so much for subscribing, Carson. Then we've got is my next subscriber in the chat is Mitchell. Here you go, Mitchell. Thank you so much for subscribing, Mitchell. Here you are. Mitchell. Here you go, Mitchell. Thank you. Welcome back, Ryder. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Avria. Here you go, Avria. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, everybody drop your names in the chat. Let's go, everyone. Let's go. All right. Bianca, you are next, Bianca. Thank you so much for subscribing, Bianca. Here you go. All right, Bianca. Then we've got is Robert in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing, Robert. Here you go, Robert. My next subscriber in the chat is Luna. Luna is from Canada. All right, Luna. Welcome to my live. My next subscriber in the chat is Jack. Here you go, Jack. Thank you so much for subscribing. Here you are, Jack. My next subscriber in the chat is Adam. Welcome in, Adam. How are you? Here you go, Adam. Thank you so much for subscribing, Adam. My next subscriber in the chat is Garrett. Here you go, Garrett. How are you doing? Thank you so much for subscribing, Garrett. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is, guys, everybody drop it in the chat. Drop your names in the chat, guys. Albie, you are next. Here you go, Albie. Thank you so much for subscribing, Albie. My next subscriber in the chat is, how are you, Louise? Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing, Louise. My next subscriber in the chat is, everybody, it is Molly. Here you go, Molly. Thank you so much for subscribing, Molly. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, okay, Travis, take care, man. Ashlyn, here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Nini. Here you go, Nini. Thank you so much for subscribing, Nini. Here you are. My next subscriber in the chat is, everybody drop your names in the chat. Everyone drop your name in the chat. Kylie, here you go, Kylie. Thank you so much for subscribing, Kylie. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Starlin. Starlin. Here you go, Tharlin. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing, Tarlin. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Skylar. Here you go, Skylar. Thank you so much for subscribing, Skylar. Thank you. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Glenn. How are you, Glenn? Thank you so much for subscribing, Glenn. Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is Danielle. Here you go, Danielle. Thank you so much for subscribing, Danielle. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Tessa. Here you go, Tessa. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Adam. Here you go, Adam. Thank you so much for subscribing, Adam. Hold on, guys. Just give me a moment. All right. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, my next subscriber is, here you go. Hold on, guys. My next subscriber is Mason in the chat. Thank you so much, Mason, for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Amara. How are you, Amara? Thank you so much for subscribing, Amara. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is, hold on, everyone. It is, sorry, guys. It is Dawson. Here you go, Dawson. Thank you so much for subscribing, Dawson. My next subscriber in the chat is Ada. Here you go, Ada. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Elisheva. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing, Elisheva. My next subscriber in the chat is Heesung. Here you go, Heesung. Thank you so much for subscribing, Heesung. Here you are. My next subscriber in the chat is, hold on, everyone. It is Jaziel. Here you go, Jaziel. Jaziel, here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Rosie. Here you go, Rosie. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Salina. Here you go, Salina. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Avi. Here you go, Avi. My next subscriber in the chat is Liz. Here you go, Liz. My next subscriber in the chat is, everybody drop it in the chat, Delilah. Here you go, Delilah. Thank you so much for subscribing, Delilah. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Jojo. Thank you so much for subscribing, Jojo. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Mason. Here you go, Mason. Thank you so much for subscribing, Mason. My next subscriber, it is Lucas. Here you go, Lucas. Thank you so much for subscribing, Lucas. My next subscriber in the chat is, everyone, it is Elizabeth. Here you go, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, you're welcome, it is Beth. Here you go, Beth. Thank you so much for subscribing, Beth. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Poppy. Here you go, Poppy. Thank you so much for subscribing, Poppy. My next subscriber in the chat is, everyone, it is Talia. How are you, Talia? Where are you watching from? My next subscriber in the chat is Jackson. Here you go, Jackson. Thank you so much for subscribing, Jackson. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Mimix. Here you go, Mimix. Thank you so much for subscribing, Mimix. My next subscriber in the chat is Meyer. Here you go, Meyer. Thank you so much for subscribing, Meyer. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Tijani. Here you go, Tijani. Here you go. Thank you, Tijani, for subscribing. My next subscriber is Danielle. Here you go, Danielle. Thank you so much for subscribing, Danielle. My next subscriber in the chat is Grace. Here you go, Grace. Thank you so much for subscribing, Grace. My next subscriber in the chat is Tim. Here you go, Tim. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Easton. Here you go, Easton. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is It is Tori. Here you go, Tori. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Tony. Here you go, Tony. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, everyone, it is Harley. Here you go, Harley. Thank you so much for subscribing, Harley. My next subscriber in the chat is James. Here you go, James. Where are you watching from? My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Nebula. Here you go, Nebula. Where are you watching from, Nebula? My next subscriber in the chat is Alex. Here you go, Alex. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Wyatt. Here you go, Wyatt. Thank you so much for subscribing, Wyatt. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Zayden. Here you go, Zayden. Thank you so much for subscribing, Zayden. Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is, just give me a moment. It is Muna. How are you, Muna? Thank you so much for subscribing, Muna. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Maddie. Here you go, Maddie. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, hold on. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Will. How are you, Will? Here you go. Oh, hold on, guys. Give me a second here. Just give me a second. My next subscriber in the chat is, all right, Grace. Let's go, Grace. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing, Grace. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Callan. Here you go, Callan. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Elena. Here you go, Elena. Thank you so much for subscribing, Elena. My next subscriber in the chat is Anna. Here you go, Anna. Thank you so much for subscribing, Anna. My next subscriber in the chat is Gianna. Here you go, Gianna. Thank you so much for subscribing, Gianna. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Austin. Here you go, Austin. Thank you so much for subscribing, Austin. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Ryder. Here you go, Ryder. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Cruz. Here you go, Cruz. My next subscriber in the chat is Joey. Here you go, Joey. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Ronica. Here you go, Ronica. Thank you so much for subscribing, Ronica. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Jensen. Here you go, Jensen. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Hamid. Here you go, Hamid. Thank you so much for subscribing, Hamid. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Mayhem. Here you go, Mayhem. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, everybody, it is Fulton. Here you go, Fulton. Thank you so much for subscribing, Fulton. My next subscriber in the chat is Malia. Here you go, Malia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Malia. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is James. Here you go, James. Here you are. Thank you so much, James, for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Abel. Here you go, Abel. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Layton. Here you go, Layton. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is... It is Leo. Here you go, Leo. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Merit. Here you go, Merit. Thank you for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Santiago. Thank you, Santiago, for liking. Thank you. My next subscriber name in the chat is Corey. Here you go, Corey. My next subscriber in the chat is Zaki. Here you go, Zaki. Thank you so much for liking as well. My next subscriber name in the chat is Chiri. Here you go, Chiri. My next subscriber in the chat is Malaya. Here you go, Malaya. My next subscriber in the chat is Kazi. Here you go, Kazi. My next subscriber in the chat is Wesley. Here you go, Wesley. Thank you so much for liking, Wesley. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Zyla. Here you go, Zyla. My next subscriber in the chat is George. Here you go, George. My next subscriber in the chat is Wes. Here you go, Wes. My next subscriber in the chat is Sanghoon. Here you go, Sanghoon. Thank you. My next subscriber in the chat is... You're welcome. Then we've got is Riker. Here you go, Riker. My next subscriber in the chat is, everyone, it is Xavier. Thank you so much, Xavier, for liking as well. Thank you. My next subscriber in the chat is Dana. How are you, Dana? Where are you watching from, Dana? My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Briar. Here you go, Briar. Thank you so much for liking as well. My next subscriber in the chat is Roberto. Here you go, Roberto. Thank you. Then we've got is... My next subscriber in the chat is May. Here you go, May. My next subscriber in the chat is Heifa. Here you go, Heifa. Thank you for liking, Heifa. My next subscriber in the chat is... It is Kadori. Here you go, Kadori. Thank you. My next subscriber in the chat is Safe. Here you go, Safe. My next subscriber in the chat is Scarlett. Here you go, Scarlett. Where are you watching from, Scarlett? Then we've got my next subscriber in the chat is Sila. Here you go, Sila. Then my next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Bennett. Where are you watching from, Bennett? Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is, everyone, it is Malia. Here you go, Malia. My next subscriber in the chat is, everybody, it is... Give me a second. Hold on, guys. My next subscriber is Juliana. Here you go, Juliana. My next subscriber in the chat is Evie. Here you go, Evie. My next subscriber in the... Hold on, everyone. In the chat is Macy. Here you go. Here you go, Macy. Thank you so much for... Hold on, Macy. Sorry about that, Macy. It is Macy. Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it's Riley. How are you, Riley? Thank you so much for subscribing and liking. Then my next subscriber in the chat is... It is Scar. Here you go, Scar. My next subscriber in the chat is DJ. Here you go, Jay. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Ear. Here you go, Ear. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Java. Thank you so much for liking, Java. My next subscriber in the chat is Matilda. All right, Matilda. Here you go. Thank you so much for liking, Matilda. My next subscriber is Sarah. Here you go, Sarah. My next subscriber in the chat is Zara. Here you go, Zara. My next subscriber in the chat is Mariam. Here you go, Mariam. Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is, everyone, it is Genesis. Here you go, Genesis. Thank you so much for subscribing, Genesis. My next subscriber in the chat is Sifo. Here you go, Sifo. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Sammer. Here you go, Sammer. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Paisley. All right, Paisley, how are you doing, Paisley? Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing, Paisley. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Summer. Here you go, Summer. Thank you so much for subscribing. Here you go, Summer. Thank you so much. My next subscriber in the chat is, everybody give it up for Hisham. All right, Hisham, thank you so much for subscribing, Hisham. Here you go. Thank you, Hisham. Then my next subscriber in the chat is, everybody, let's go, Lila. Here you go, Lila. Thank you so much for subscribing. Everybody give it up for Lila. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is, it is Banner. How are you, Banner? Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing, Banner. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Sammy. Here you go, Sammy. Thank you so much, Sammy, for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, let's all give it up for Graham. All right, Graham. All right, thank you so much for liking and subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Yan. Here you go, Yan. Thank you so much for subscribing, Yan. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Lomfo. All right, Lomfo. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Niam. Here you go, Niam. My next subscriber name in the chat is, it is Olivia. Here you go, Olivia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Olivia. My next subscriber in the chat is Alex. Here you go, Alex. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber is, it is Taffy. Here you go, Taffy. Thank you so much for subscribing. Hold on, Taffy. Let me do that again. Taffy. Here you go. My next subscriber name in the chat is Izzy. Here you go, Izzy. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber name in the chat is Presley. Here you go, Presley. Thank you so much for subscribing, Presley. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Thomas. Here you go, Thomas. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Ryla. Here you go, Ryla. Thank you so much for subscribing, Ryla. My next subscriber name in the chat is, it is Tiago. Here you go, Tiago. Thank you so much, Tiago, for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Amy. Here you go, Amy. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber name in the chat is, guys, it is Carly. Here you go, Carly. Thank you for subscribing, Carly. My next subscriber name in the chat is, it is Fadala. Thank you for liking, Fadala. Fadala. Here you go. Thank you, Fadala, for liking. My next subscriber name in the chat is, guys, it is, all right, it is Mia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Mia. My next subscriber name in the chat is Camden. How are you, Camden? Here you go, Camden. My next subscriber name in the chat is Evelyn. Here you go, Evelyn. Thank you for subscribing. My next subscriber name in the chat is Uden. Here you go, Uden. Thank you so much for subscribing, Uden. Then we have is Kim in the chat. Here you go, Kim. Thank you for subscribing and liking. Then we got is Angie in the chat, guys. Angie, thank you so much for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Emerson. Here you go, Emerson. Thank you, Emerson, so much for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Remy. Here you go, Remy. Thank you so much for liking, Remy. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Salman. Here you go, Salman. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Jimmy. Here you go, Jimmy. Here you are. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, Solly. Here you go, Solly. Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is, everybody, let's give it up for Haven. Here you go, Haven. My next subscriber in the chat is Martin. Here you go, Martin. Thank you so much for liking, Martin. My next subscriber in the chat is Kylie. Here you go, Kylie. My next subscriber name in the chat is, everyone, it is Natasha. Here you go, Natasha. Here you are, Natasha. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, let's all give it up for Sean. Here you go, Sean. All right, Sean, here you are. My next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Tommy. Here you go, Tommy. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking, Tommy. My next subscriber in the chat is, everyone, it is, let's all give it up for Martin. Here you go, Martin. Here you are, Martin. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Bobby. Here you go, Bobby. All right, Bobby. Here you are. My next subscriber in the chat is Landry. Here you go, Landry. Landry. Then my next subscriber name in the chat is Finley. Here you go, Finley. Thank you for liking. My next subscriber name in the chat is Ensley. Here you go, Ensley. Here you go. Next subscriber name in the chat is Brandon. Here you go, Brandon. My next subscriber name in the chat is, guys, Grayson. Here you go, Grayson. Thank you so much for liking, Grayson. My next subscriber name in the chat is, guys, Minsa. Here you go, Minsa. Thank you so much for liking, Minsa. My next subscriber in the chat is Shed. All right, Shed. Here you go, Shed. Did you change your display pic, Shed? My next subscriber in the chat is Marissa. Here you go, Marissa. All right, here you are. All right, my next subscriber name is Dalyarek. Dalyarek. Here you go. All right, guys, I'm gonna go now. Thank you all so much. I'm just taking a break now. I'll be back again later. Thank you all so much for sticking around, and then I'll see you guys again later. Bye.